All right, here we go. Welcome to Boot Camp, New Consultant Boot Camp Part 2. I am going to make sure that everybody is muted out so that we don't have any background noise. And this is Part 2, so we're going to cover a lot of stuff. So what we're going to start with today is some things that we did not cover for Part 1 because we ran out of time, because I'm trying to be a real stickler about keeping this exactly 1 hour. And thank you guys for being on time and being on. And I will box over the homework probably in the morning, okay? Hey, Angeline, thanks for being on. That means a lot. So I know that you're moving into leadership. I just saw that you got on. So here's what you need to put in your roll-up bag to be able to do a full skincare class, an advanced skincare class, and an advanced glamour clinic, okay? And so I'm going to, hold on, I'm muting some things out. Okay, good. So take note, these are the products that you need, and I can email or box these out later. Eventually, you're going to need a full demo Voluform set, okay? Because you're going to get into a situation where you've got every age at these parties or the facial, and you want to give these people the right skincare that they need for their skin and for the season of their life. You need a microderm system. You need a firming eye cream. You need the brush set. You need the Skin Vigorant brush. You need to have 4 demo mineral powder brushes. You also need to go ahead and invest in the brush cleaner, which is the little $10 spray that cleans the brushes. If you've got a party of 8 and you only have 4 demo mineral powder brushes, you can literally squirt that cleanser on there, wipe it down with a paper towel, and it dries, and you can pass it on to the next guest, and it's sanitized. Love that stuff. I keep it in my Mary Kay Go bag, and so I'm always ready if I have more guests than I have brushes. You also need 2 of the liquid foundation brushes. Everybody that uses that brush buys it, okay? You need to have the 4 major mineral powders, okay? You need Ivory 1, Ivory 2, Beige 1, and Beige 2. Do not worry about the 0.5s unless you come across someone who is a frequent tanning bed user or someone of the Hispanic demographics. There's a pinkish skin tone to both of those, and the 0.5s in the mineral powder have that really pink undertone. It's really pink. So I do not really demo with those. You could put one in your stock just to be on the safe side if you're ever at a class and somebody's there that needs that color, but I don't stock a lot of it. Also, CC creams. If you came into Mary Kay prior to August 1, you need to get all the CC creams. You need to get the very light, the light to medium, medium to deep, and deep. Okay, and there's even, I think, another shade if you have ebony color skin tone in your customer base. Go ahead and get the deep colors for those skin types. Okay. Also, Serum C and the toning lotion. Those are big ticket sales items and a big ticket reorder item. You want to definitely make sure that you are showing these products. Under Eye Corrector, amazing. Everybody that uses that buys it. These are some of the products that you use at your second appointment, at that follow-up glamour appointment. The Under Eye Corrector, Perfecting Concealer. I would recommend that you have let's see, what are the shades? The light ivory, and go ahead and get a light beige, okay? That way you've got one for each, and if they're in between, you can kind of mix them a little bit. Those are great products as well. You need all the primers to demo. This is all going in your roll-up bag, in your demo bag, okay? I also put some of my glamour products in my brush collection in case my roll-up bag gets really, really full. So the primers that you're going to need is your foundation primer, your eye primer, your lash primer, Also go ahead and get the Lash Intensity Mascara. I know that we demo with the Ultimate. That's what came in your starter kit. But I book a lot of second appointments on the pretense that they're going to get to try. That's one of their perks, is they get to try the Lash Intensity Mascara. And honestly, sometimes when I just talk about it, people buy it at the party without even trying it. Go ahead and get a bronzer so that you can do the contouring at your parties. If I've sent you all of my downloads from Dropbox, contouring is one of the laminated flyers that you're gonna get, and we do that with the Perfecting Concealer and our bronzer. Finishing spray, that's how you finish it off, with the finishing spray. And so those are the products that you're gonna eventually need for your starter kit. Now here's the good news. We're gonna talk about taxes. These are all tax deductions because this is a class supply. You're going to need these for your classes as class demos, and you get to write that off. All right, so get to write that off. Here's a great way to keep up with any product that you pull off your shelf. You can either take a sales ticket, like this one right here. You can take the sales ticket. I don't want to turn around. It's got my customer's credit card on here. You can take a sales ticket, and you can just keep a log of anything that you pull off. Or a good friend of mine gave me this tip. Whenever you pull them out of the boxes, tear off the top of the box. It's flat, and keep it in like a little container on your desk, or even in those little mesh bags that your mirrors came in. You don't really need those mirrors in that bag anymore. So I use those bags for multiple things. And so you can literally keep it on your shelf where your inventory is, and any demos that you pull off, tear off the top of the box so it's got the name. And then at the end of the year, when you're doing your taxes, you can just add up all those items, and you've got a list, a customized list. Actually, you can just enter it all into InTouch as if you're doing an order, and it totals it up for you and prints it. You can even print it out. Don't send it, don't order it, but you're using it as almost like a data entry, and then print it out and write on there, class supplies 2017, okay? Personal use supplies 2017, and then file it and delete that order, or delete that order that you just created to get the manifest. All right, so that's just a little tip. So that's what's gonna go in your roll-up bag. Now we're going to talk about money management really quickly. Now I know that many of you I sat down with, and I talked money management with you when you had to come up with your inventory options. And so I'm going to go over it really quickly again, because these are important. There are 3 reasons that women, hold on just a second. I was unmuting everybody. Oh, wait. Okay. There you go. All right. I went exercise tonight, so I'm kind of a little out of it. All right. So there are 3 reasons that women fail at running their own business: money management, time management, and procrastination. And so profit level Patty, you can take a full paycheck when you're on full store, okay? Because you don't need to roll in any of your profit to build your store, because you're already at a full store. All right, so in this scenario, let's say you did 500 your first week. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let's say if you did 500 your first week, your second week you did 500, third week you did 500, and your fourth week you did 500. So your total is $2,000 retail. That's what you sold. Profit level Patty is on a full store. So here's how you would pay yourself, okay? So you're going to deplete your store. You depleted your store by 1,000 wholesale, because that's what you sold out of that 2,000 retail. So your store is depleted, just like Walmart is on Sunday nights, okay? And 50% of what you sell never belongs to you. It belongs to your business. And so that's your $1,000, and you're going to stock with that $1,000. $1,000 wholesale is going to give you $2,000 retail. That's exactly what you just sold. You order that, and boom, you get your store right back where you started, okay? An empty shelf means out of business, okay? Here's the problem with a lot of women. They see a full shelf and they have this clean the shelf mentality. We're just cleaners. I'm not a cleaner, I'm more like a man, but you get it. You do not want to empty your shelf. When you empty your shelf, you're out of business, all right? And so you want to keep this store full because of your supply and demand, because you're going to keep growing your inventory, all right? Now, your paycheck is going to come from that other 50%. That's your $1,000 paycheck. When you put it into your utility account, we're going to talk about that in a second, 10% you're going to keep to the side for the cost of doing business. Samples, supplies, cotton balls, making deliveries, mailing things out, eating on your way to make deliveries, food, all those things, meeting fees, beach retreat, all that's going to come out of your 10%. But here's the deal. You really get that back at the end of the year during your taxes. And we're going to talk more about that in a second, because it's business. It's a business expense. And so you get it back in your tax refund. So your paycheck is really $900 from that 50%, from that original $2,000 that you sold, okay? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to always have two accounts. You've got your family account, which is what you have right here, and then you have the Mary Kay utility account. Do not go to the bank and ask for a business account. They're going to charge you lots of fees, and this account is going to go up and down, because you're ordering, you're moving money to your family account to pay yourself, and you don't ever want any fees, okay? So find a bank, usually a credit union, with 0%, no fees, and a debit card attached, free checking. So in this scenario, you sold $2,000. You moved your money, your $900 to your family account, that's your paycheck, and then your $100 is left for your cost of doing business. That's what you're going to use for samples and supplies. And then, oh, this is wrong, I just noticed. And then your $1,000 is what your restock was for, okay? So you moved your $900 over here, and that's your paycheck. The reason you need to move your paycheck into your family account is so that you can see it and your husband can see it, all right? If you start piling all this money into your family account, it's going to start going out with the bathwater like the rest of the money. We know, we all have it, okay? Comes in, it goes out, and you're going to look at yourself one day and say, oh, I'm not making any money. Well, yeah, you are. It's just going out with the rest of it. You're not keeping accurate records. I had a top consultant for 3 years, and one day she said, oh, I don't pay myself. And I said, what? And I knew she did, because I knew what she sold every week. I knew what she ordered. And I was like, well, where's the money going? She said, oh, well, I bought my husband a truck and I paid a truck note. I said, honey, that's paying yourself. Just because you don't have that money to blow doesn't mean you didn't take a paycheck. You chose to buy your husband a truck, and it's paying your bills. Just like, your husband, his money comes in and pays the house payment, utilities. He's not going to go to work and say, oh, they don't pay me anything here. Well, they do. He just doesn't see it. So you've got to know, you've got to be very diligent. And if you're going to pay yourself weekly, move it weekly. If you're going to pay yourself bi-weekly, move it bi-weekly. I always pay myself monthly. And so I used to move it at the end of the month. On the 30th of every month, I'd move it over. And I would write my husband a check, and I would make him take it to the credit union, because he works for Delta Airlines, and they had a credit union branch in his in his department. And so he would just, or near his department, so he would just deposit my money. And every time he would say, why don't you just move the money? I said, because I feel good physically writing you this check. And this is when I was a consultant. It was a pride thing. And that way he had it in his hands. He knew he got paid. And he could never question if I was making money. I'm just going to tell you, I have never, ever not paid myself. Now, when I did not have a full store, I did not pay myself 50%. We call that building up Betty, 80%, okay? And so here's where we are with building up Betty. We're going to say you sold the $2,000, same thing, but you only have half a store. You can use this scenario even if you only have 600, okay? If you do not have a full store, you want to work from an 80-20 split, or you will not be building your store. You will be maintaining, and the more customers you get, you will have a supply and demand problem because you did not grow your store with your 80/20 with your profit from your sales. So your 80/20 in this scenario, 80% is what you're going to roll back into your business and restock your shelf, and you're going to pay yourself 20%. So unlike Profit Level Patty, where she paid herself $1,000 minus her $100 for her cost of business, you're taking your profit and you're growing your business. Most entrepreneurs do not take a paycheck for 3 to 4 years. All right. You don't have to do that. You can take a paycheck right away. You're just foregoing some of your profit. In this scenario, hang on, there's some background noise. Okay. All right. So in this scenario, you're going to take 80% of what you sold, which is $1,600. You're going to place that order, which is going to give you $3,200 retail. You started at 18, you depleted it down to 800 when you sold that product. You pulled that product off your shelf. When you place that $1,600 order, the 80% from your restock, you built your store back up to 2,400, which is retail 4,800. So you look, do that one more time or two more times, and you're at profit level, and you can give yourself a pay raise. Your goal should always be, if you did not start with a full store, your goal is to make sure that you're on profit level by month 3. Here's 2 reasons. First reason is reorders are going to kick in. So not only are you working with new business, but your reorders are kicking in. So you've got new business that you're trying to supply product for and your repeat business. The second reason is you have booked yourself outside of your family and friends, and now you're sitting in a room full of strangers that don't know you from Adam. And I'll tell you, the most comfortable that you will be is where they give you money and you tell them, I'll bring your stuff later. Okay? You're going to feel very uncomfortable doing that. And so by month 3, when you've booked outside of your family and friends and your circle of influence, is to have a full store so that money and product exchanges hands at the exact same time. And that, in a nutshell, is how you run your money, okay? There's 2 other scenarios that I normally go through. It's called Half Stocked Harriet and Building and Embezzling Edith, okay? I will go over those on another night because we have a lot that we want to go through. Those 2 scenarios are the wrong way to run your money. So I do the 2 right ways, which is Profit Level Patty and Building Up Betty, and the 2 wrong ways are Half Stocked Harriet and Embezzling Edith. Why do I show those? So that a red flag goes off or your bells and whistles go off when you start running your money the wrong way. Once again, 3 reasons that women fail at running their own business: money management, time management, and procrastination. Okay. All right. So let's talk taxes. Actually, I love talking taxes because you've got a tax deduction right now that you're sitting on, and your husband is going to thank you for it come tax time. All right. So here's the deal. I'm going to teach you a basic system, my system. You may not like it. That's okay. You can go from there. It's going to get your creative juices flowing. Only touch paper one time. 9 to 9 is people time. Organizing and shuffling papers will not ever make you any money. Booking appointments, making customer service calls, holding appointments, putting the product on faces, sharing the opportunity, those are all called your IPAs, income producing activities, okay? So now, in a nutshell, here is my system, okay? We will have a more in-depth tax class in November, okay? It will be on a Sunday night, and it will be all taxes. But I'm going to give you just some tips to kind of get your office set up so that you will be able to, have some systems already prepped and ready for tax time. First of all, I do the envelope system. I don't have an envelope in here. Okay. So I get the yellow manila envelopes that have the clamp on it. And the beginning of every month, I write August. Okay. And I put it in my cart. And if I go to the dry cleaners, I shove that receipt down in there. I went to the post office today, got some stamps, shove that receipt down in there. If I get cotton balls, shove that receipt. I stopped and got a Zaxby salad. It's a meal. Shove that in there. Dry cleaning. Shove that in there. Any of your receipts, okay? Office equipment, office supplies, postage, miles, meals, all those kind of things go in there, okay? You can get a more in-depth list I think if you go to InTouch and you type in tax expenses, tax write-offs, business expenses, things like that, you'll get a list, or we can send you a list. Trinity has a really great list, and we can send it to you on Voxer so that you can kind of start getting an idea of the receipts that you want to keep. So I put it in the envelope, and at the end of the month, I seal it and I don't touch it again. Remember, touching paper doesn't make me any money. I file it away. I will tell you what I do with it in November. I'll tell you more about, because I don't want you touching it. All right. Your household expenses. My husband pays the bills. And so if you're the one to pay the bills, or your husband, here's what he did. He created a spreadsheet. We pay our bills online. And so every month he prints out his spreadsheet that has insurance, mortgage, utilities, cell phones, all that stuff. You get to write off all that stuff. He prints it out and he hand writes in how much he paid, and then he files it away. So at the end of the year, he has 12 sheets, and he just adds them up. You get to write off all that stuff, okay? I can send you a copy of his spreadsheet so that you can make one for yourself, because basically household, we all have the same bills, all right? And so that way you keep up with that, because you get to write off all that stuff too. Cool. Happy day. Isn't that exciting? All right. So now we talked about your personal use products and what to do with those. And so we, hang on, we've got some background noise. I'm sorry. Okay, good. And so you know what to do with the personal use products and the class supply demos that you're using. Now, here's one thing. If I can give you a tip, please don't stray from this. Do not go to H&R Block. Do not do TurboTax. Go ahead and get an accountant. You do not need to staff an accountant. You're just going to go and get it, an accountant to do your income taxes. Because Mary Kay pays us, because we pay Mary Kay when we order at wholesale, we go ahead and pay the retail taxes on that wholesale product. And then when we sell that product to our customers, we collect the retail taxes. It's a wash. So you do not have the headache of having to file quarterly state taxes. Praise God. Okay. Mary Kay has to worry about that. You just have to worry about your income taxes. And it's a good thing, because I've earned almost $1 million in 16 and a half years in commissions and sales. And the only taxes we've paid is $3,800. There's not a lot of people that can say that's earned $1 million at their job and only paid $3,800. And I contribute that to the laws that are in place for self-employed people. Okay. It is legit deductions. Don't be afraid of it. If your accountant is afraid, go find another accountant, because that means your accountant doesn't know her stuff. Okay. These are legitimate laws that are in place that you get to write these things off, and you have a legitimate business. All right. Now, know your number. All right. So if you started your business with inventory and you put your inventory on a credit card, or you went and got a small loan to cover your inventory, come tax time, you should be able to pay off that while your credit card is 0%. Here's why. After your accountant figures up your tax refund, I'm just going to tell you it will be an increase. Then ask her or him, what would my refund be if I didn't do Mary Kay? Okay, look at those two numbers, and the difference is because of Mary Kay. You tell your husband, this is what we're paying my business off with this year. Next year, we can, do something else with it. But this year, we're paying off our business. Okay, that way your business is debt-free. You have inventory, and you cut up that card, and you're not using anymore, because you're running your business from a positive cash flow. See, there's really no reason why if you shouldn't have inventory, because if you do it the right way and you're a disciplined person, you're going to pay it off in January, and that's less than 6 months away. So there you go. That's, in a nutshell, that's always, make sure you have an accountant. Don't use H&R Block. And don't do TurboTax. All right. Now let's talk about miles and your miles in your car. With your car deductions, you can do miles or you can do your repairs and maintenance. Always do miles. I've never met an accountant that said do maintenance or repairs. Do miles. You get like 54 cents a mile. There's lots of great ways to keep up with your miles. You can do it on the back of that envelope. You can do it in your date book every time you make a booking or you have a delivery. Go ahead and note how far away. You can ask Siri, like if you have a smartphone, you can just say, what is the miles between my house and I'll say like Jennifer's on here, Jennifer Gore's house, okay? And it will tell me, and I'll put that in my date book, both ways, front and back. And then at the end of the year, you just go through and add up all the highlighted, or you can put it on the back of your manila envelope, or there are great apps. My friend sent me an app to keep up with miles, and I have not looked it up yet, but she loves it. So look up your mileage app, okay? Now, let's talk about okay, I think that's all with taxes. So just know in November, do not miss my tax class. All right, so let's move on. Career path, all right? So moving up the career path, so we just launched a challenge today. It's called Grow Your Business Challenge, and it's a career path. It's sharing this opportunity. So you have several avenues of income. You have selling the product to new faces. You've got your reorder business, and then you've got sharing the opportunity. I'm just going to tell you, your sales and your reorders, that's your instant money. That's your grocery money. That's, paying that car payment, this and that. But your team building is your future money, okay? That's what you're going to pay your house off early with, guys. That's what you're going to buy your vacation home with. That's what you're going to stroke that college tuition check. That's your future money, and it's big money. But if you don't ever share this opportunity and you think by just keeping all those customers to yourself that you're going to be doing better because you looked at the career path and you don't quite understand it, but you see the numbers and you think 50% has got to be more than this. It's not, okay? I'm not going to go into all my team building class because we'll do that on another night, maybe a Sunday night. But just know that when you work this business full circle, okay, Mary Kay said, don't just take a piece of the pie. She said, take the whole pie. You are leaving so much money on the table. All right, so let me just show you quickly. This was a paycheck of mine, and I know you may not be able to see it, but just kind of follow along. It was a paycheck that was this. We get so many bonuses as sales directors that literally we have to have a sheet like this. And then we've got bonuses down here that are not even on here. You can see them highlighted. This paycheck was $9,064.22. $9,064.22 for 1 month. And you can see all my different bonuses. But here's the point that I want to make. I circled this right here. It's $616.59. That is my personal team paycheck for that particular month. This was 1 month. So this is what I got for being a sales director. This is what I would have gotten if I wasn't a sales director. I got this and then some. So would you rather have the $616 check or would you rather have the $9,000 check? Because I grew my business, I shared this opportunity with my best customers. I now get checks like this versus checks like this, all right? And so if I've intrigued you a little bit and you're intrigued by the Grow Your Team or Grow Your Business Challenge, then I want to sit down and show you how to move up the career path, all right? If you've got one of these in your starter kit, it talks about the career path. And I remember being a brand new consultant, and my director said, I want you to read over the career, what was this called? Oh, Steps to Success. See, it was called back then too. Because I want you to read over the steps to success and tell me what your goals are. Well, I remember she would always call me. She would always tell me, she would call me after work because she knew I had a very stressful job when I first started. And she never would bother me at work. So Roxanne would call me and she would say, okay, I'm calling you on Monday and I'm calling you on Wednesday to check in. I said, okay. And then we would talk over the weekend because she was in San Antonio, Texas. We didn't have Boxer back then. And so Monday, she told me, gave me my homework, look over this, set my goals. She called me on Wednesday. I'm cooking dinner. I've got the phone on my I remember, I'll never forget it. I got the phone on my shoulders. I'm cooking dinner. And I said, yes, Roxanne. I looked over the Steps to Success brochure, and I've decided that I want to be a national sales director. I went all the way to the top. She dropped her phone. But you know what? I saw that they made the most money. And so get out your Steps to Success brochure. And I want to know if that's what you want, because we want to help you get there. I want to help you get there. Trinity wants to help you get there. And Marianne wants to help you get there. Okay. So we'll talk more about moving you up, but just go ahead and schedule your power day. Your power day, if you want to do it all in one day, getting your director in front of 5 people, even if you don't think that they would ever do this in a million years. You need this for your communication skill training, your marketing training, and honestly, 1 out of 3 will sign up. Okay, 1 out of 3. But we don't twist their arm. They get educated. They get educated on the facts, and they see if it's a good fit for them. Okay. Most say no, okay, because 1 out of 3 sign, so most say no, but that's okay, because they can be talent scouts for you. And honestly, what I find is sometimes down the road, when their life situation has changed or the season of their life changed, they come back. We interviewed Angeline back when Mary Ann was a brand new consultant. I met Angeline at Mary Ann's very first party, and I said, Mary Ann, you need to sign her up. I think it was honestly 2 years later. Angeline can tell us that her life situation changed, and she knew the facts. She watched Mary Ann, and she was ready. And now she's getting ready to be a sales director. So no doesn't mean never. It means not now. So don't ever be afraid of no. All right, so let's talk about still on recruiting. So when you're at an appointment and someone does want more information, you got to have a really great recruiting packet. And what we found is that cardstock, women will not throw away cardstock. And I have this. You can use this. You can use my stuff. I've already paid for a graphic designer. We may have to change the starter kit a little bit, because now there's a new starter kit. But for now, you can use it and just say, oh, the starter kit is awesome here, but wait till you see the new one. You've got to send them home with something. And then you also want to send them home with a link to a recruiting video. And so tomorrow we're going to send you a link that has lots of recruiting videos from top sales directors, from single moms, college students, nurses, teachers, every walk of life, their story and their recruiting. And so you can pick and choose. Save this to your star this into your Boxer so that you can always go back and get it. And when you meet that woman that's a nurse and she's complaining about nursing, it's a high burnout rate, by the way. You can say, you know what, I've got a video I want you to watch. And would you take this packet home? And I always put them in some really great little clear solo bags. This is a mini of the one I use. But I put them in there with my business card. Okay, with my business card. Here's my box of business cards. And then I follow up and I send them the link to the video. And then I follow up. And then I follow up. And then I follow up. Follow up is the key. I hope you get that point. Follow up is the key, okay? You don't ever want to just send her away and say, well, she'll call me if she's interested. Absolutely not. They're not thinking 24/7 Mary Kay like you are. And this is your baby, and you've got to build it, okay? All right, so let's talk about the Party Chat book. So if you don't have these downloaded, this is a great way. Now, there's a flip chart now, so you get to choose the flip chart or using the Party Chat book that my graphic designer created. It helps you to flow through your skincare class with marketing, telling your story, telling your director's story, or telling my story until you get to the skincare part, okay? And then you're going to start talking about the skincare. Now, here's the thing. I'm just going to tell you, as a new consultant, I was scared to tell my story. And so I told my director's story forever, okay, until I had my own story. But here's what I know now. You have a story, okay? Jennifer Gore is brand new. She already has a story. Her first party was over $1,000. 10 people, $1,000, $100 a face. She goes in to talk to a friend of hers who's a stay-at-home mom. They're living off one income. And she says, yeah, I sold $1,000. Half of that was mine. That's $500 in 2 hours. That's $250 an hour. That, to that single mom or that stay-at-home mom, that's grocery money. Jennifer's story is now more powerful than my story or Trinity's story, because they hear 16 years, $1 million, they shut down. But they hear Jennifer, I just started last week. I've already sold $1,000 and I got 3 bookings and 3 facials and 3 parties and a recruit. I mean, it's full circle success, guys. That's her story. That's part of her I story. And then she can incorporate my story when she's talking, because at that table is going to be every personality. So we studied personalities, I think, last week with Marianne and Trinity. And sometimes the D and I personalities need to see the bigger picture. So if $500 in 2 hours profit doesn't impress them, well, yeah, $9,000 paycheck will. So that's why you tell a little bit of everybody's, you sprinkle in a little bit of everybody's success, because you never know who's at the skincare class. And this party chat book helps you to stay on track, okay? And to keep it all in front of you, skincare, and then you close with the businesswoman kit. You book that second appointment. It flows, okay? And the flip chart is going to flow equally as well, too. So you get to decide what tool you're going to use at your skincare class, all right? So now I'm going to, I get to turn it over to Trinity, and she's going to bring us home. Have at it.
Hey, guys. All right, thank you. And you jump in if you think of anything I forgot, okay?
I will. This is our first, our first 2-parter. So I'm going to, like I did with Marianne.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I just want to start off and tell you guys, thank you so much for logging on tonight. It's just such a big deal that you're here, that you're making time for your business. I know a lot of your kids started school this week. I know a lot of your teachers, and you start school this week. And so I just want to tell you how proud of you I am for really investing in your business and taking this seriously. So we really, really appreciate you. Because, you know, we have time that we give up too. And so it makes us feel like it's worth it when you guys are on. So we appreciate you a lot. So I'm going to talk to you very quickly. I promise we'll be done at 9:30. But I'm going to go over a lot of different areas. And if you have a question specifically, just write it down. And then, of course, ask Michelle or myself or Marianne. That's what we're here for, to kind of clarify for you. But I'm going to go over a lot of info, just like Michelle did. In a short amount of time. So in Mary Kay, the easiest way to remember this, I want you to try really hard to remember this order of things. At first we sell, then we book, then we recruit, okay? Sell, book, recruit. You're going to hear that a million times. So I want you to try to remember that order. So I'm going to talk to you about booking and team building at an actual party, at an appointment. I'm very fortunate. I've found the secret system. I don't know how, but it works for me in order to book parties. The other day I did a party for a consultant. She had 6 guests, including the hostess, and we booked 6 parties. So every single person wanted a makeover and wanted to bring their own friends. The hostess wanted to even have another party. So I'm very fortunate this system works. So I want to teach you what I do for booking those parties and recruiting people, and really breaking it down with the sell, book, recruit, okay? So at the end of a party, I get everything all set up. I've shown everybody the closing sheets. I've shown them all the sets that we have. If you did sign up after August 1st, you'll get those awesome the placemats in your starter kit. We also have a wonderful closing sheet that has all the different sets on it. It's front and back. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we can get that for you. And so everybody's looked at their sets. They're so excited about these products. They've tried everything, and they're sitting around a table in a group. And then I'll say to them, okay, guys, I'm a teacher. We have to take a test, right? And so you can say whatever you want, but that's what I say. And so I say, okay, turn your profile card over onto the back. And on the back, I want you to write in the pink section. So there's like a profile card in the bottom. It has a little pink section. And sometimes people need you literally to do it for them. I want you to write the numbers 1, 2, and 3 going down. Okay? It's just like writing your numbers on a test for a paper. So write the numbers 1, 2, 3. Okay? So I'm going to ask you 3 different questions. And then we're going to do a drawing from your profile cards for whoever wins. Okay? It's going to be super easy. So the first question is, let's pretend like Mary Kay is free. Everything is free. Nothing costs any money. What would you take home tonight? And I use the words take home because I do have inventory. I do have my products with me, and I'm going to say to them, what would you take home tonight? What were your favorite things that you loved that you cannot live without? And so they're going to write all the things they can think of for number 1. Okay, so they've got all the different products they loved, everything they want, whether they can afford it or not. It doesn't matter. They're writing that for number 1. Then number 2, I'm going to say to them, okay, so tonight we did skincare. So excited because your second appointment is actually a free makeover session. I'm going to teach you how to do your makeup. I'm going to teach you how to contour. I'm going to match your foundation for you. It's going to be really fun. So do you want to do this by yourself and come to an event or a different meeting or something like that? Or would you prefer to get a couple of girlfriends together and get some free products? Okay, so those are the choices that they have. And so I tell them to put, for number 2, put me, if you want to hang out by yourself, or free, if you want to invite a couple of girlfriends. Now, did I say the P word? No, I did not say, do you want to have a party? I said, hey, you want to get some girlfriends together? It'll be really fun. We'll do makeovers. That sounds way more fun. People nowadays have got this mindset where they're like, oh my gosh, party, that's terrifying. I can't do that. I have no time. I had one of those Pampered Chef parties once, and I had to cook like $50 worth of food. It was awful. So we don't want them to have that experience. We want them to be excited. We want them to have fun at their party. But we're not going to call it a party. So we're going to say girls' night. We're going to say a fun girls' night out. You can have, you can call it a makeover night, whatever you want to do. But that way, I'm just saying, hey, you want to get some friends together and get some free stuff? Like, of course you do, right? That's a silly question. I literally had someone last night say, well, that's a silly question. Of course I want free stuff. And so that makes it more fun. And then for number 3, the third question, I'm going to say to them, okay, so would you ever in a million years, not right now, in a million years, would you ever in a million years consider starting your own Mary Kay business? You have 3 choices, okay? There's A, B, or C. A is absolutely, this sounds like so much fun and definitely a plan B for my life. I want to kind of check this out. You guys seem kind of cool. I want to hang out with you all the time, and I love Mary Kay. So I want to try this business. B, buy me a cup of coffee or a Coke. I have a couple more questions I want to ask you about this business. It sounds kind of neat, and I like free coffee. Or C, call me in a couple months because right now I would love to remain a full price paying customer. People always laugh at that point because they're like, oh, full price, I see what you did there. So this is going to tell you their interest level, whether or not they're interested. It's basically A is yes, B is maybe, and C is no. And so that's going to have for you a very simple layout. First of all, you're going to sell the product, okay? So you've got their profile card. When you're closing, you've got the answers to all of their questions. It's going to speed up your closing. And then you're going to figure out what they want to buy. You're going to write all down on a receipt. You're going to take care of them. Then number 2 comes, okay? If they have the word free written on a piece of paper, and it literally says, number 2, free. Sometimes people don't even know what that means. They just want free stuff. I don't ask them, oh, so you want to have a party? Because then they're like, oh, no, I did not sign up for a party. Absolutely not. They don't want a party. They want a fun night out. They want a girls' night. They want a makeover experience, okay? So that's what we're going to give them. So if they put free, I'm going to say, okay, so do weekdays or weekends work best for you? No, I didn't ask her if she wanted to have a party. I didn't ask her anything. I just said, hey, do weekdays or weekends work best for you? Because if you give women too many choices, they get overwhelmed. And so she's going to say weekdays, and I'm going to say, oh, perfect. Okay, so I've got Tuesday or Thursday. Which one's better for you? Tuesday, perfect. I've got 6:30. Does that work for you? Yeah, that sounds great. And so from there, I've booked a party, and she's booked a party with me, and she didn't even know she did it. But she's excited, and she's going to invite some friends. I'm going to tell her 3 to 5 to 8, whatever she wants. The more people she gets there, the more fun we're going to have, and the more free stuff she's going to get. But at that experience, she's booked a party, and it's very simple. So that's how I booked 6 parties with 6 guests at the event, okay? So that's my easiest way. If they say me, a lot of times you can say, okay, well, your girlfriend over here wants to get some free stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and invite you to her little event that we're going to have. It's going to be really fun. And sometimes they'll be like, oh, I want free stuff, and they'll want to book an event too. Then for number 3, if it says A or B, if they said yes or maybe, if they said yes, go ahead and sign them up right there. If they said B, you want to get that person in front of your director. You've got to get them in front of your director. Your director has been trained. Babe, could you give me some water? We have been trained for how to talk to people. We know about the DISC personality system. We know how these people need to learn about this business. And like Michelle said, we don't twist people's arm. We don't want to work with people that don't want to work with us and that don't want to do this business. We want to educate them and help them make a good choice for whether or not this business is for them. So that's going to be something really important. You want to get them in front of your director. And like she said, a power day is super, super perfect for being able to get a lot of people in front of your director at one time, okay? And so that power day, you have like 10 people coming at one time to hang out, or every 15 minutes or every 30 minutes coming to either Panera or your house or something like that, to where you would not believe how many people can be recruited. I think, didn't Hypatia, Michelle, recruit like 4 people in that one day? It was crazy, crazy.
We recruited everybody but one.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's amazing if you think of it like that. If that's something that your heart is set on as leadership, a power day is essential for you. You definitely want to do that. Another great way to book parties is to text people. But here's the deal, guys. You never, ever want to just get on Facebook and say, hey, guys, I'm so excited. I need to book parties for my Mary Kay business. Who wants one? Because I promise you, nobody's going to like your post. Nobody's going to comment, and then you're going to get discouraged because nobody wants to have a party with you. That's not how it works. This business was started before Facebook was even invented, and literally there are millionaires like out there that have never even, Michelle doesn't have a Facebook. You know what I mean? And so I promise you, you can do this business without Facebook. Some people it works for. Some people it is insanely easy for them to use Facebook, and some people it just doesn't. So don't let Facebook discourage you if you're not booking parties from there. You want to message people individually. You want people to feel special. Make them feel special. Tell them you need them. I need your help. Please help me. I just need to practice. You guys are all, if you're new, okay, you have the perfect script. I even use this script sometimes. I'm not kidding you. And I've been in for 3 years. I literally will say, hey, we just got this brand new product. I have no clue what it's going to do, but I've heard how awesome it is, and I love it, so I want to know your opinion. I just need your opinion. I didn't say to her, hey, I need you to buy a ton of products. I didn't say, hey, I need you to have a party with a ton of people. I just said, hey, will you help me? Will you give me your opinion? Then I'm going to say to her, awesome, thank you so much. Hey, if you want to bring some girlfriends over, it's really going to help me out because I'm trying to get like 30 opinions or so in the next 30 days. And so it would help me so much if you just get like 2 or 3 people to come over with us whenever we do our appointment. Sorry, guys, my throat's dry. And so that's a really easy way to book as well. You have to practice this product. You have to practice your script, and you have to practice talking to people. I promise you, when I first started, I was not good at booking parties because I was like, oh, she's going to tell me, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And so once I got used to it, I got more comfortable with it. This is a learned skill. And so that's why it's so smooth. It's like butter because I've said it a million times in my mirror. I've said it to my husband. I've said it to my dog. You have to just go for it and just practice, out there with the people. Okay. So we talked about recruiting. I want to talk to you. How are we on time? I want to talk to you about hostess plans. Okay, so a lot of my girls have had questions about hostess plans. Now, hostess plans are 100% up to you as the consultant. I'll tell you, when I first started, I didn't feel comfortable giving away products to my customers. I was like, oh no, I want to make money, so I'm not going to give away anything, and they're just going to do it all for me, and it's going to be great. And so sometimes with your friends, that does work. With your family, that does work. But you want to think about, Mary Kay Ash always said that a party that doesn't hold, you make $0. Okay, so if your party doesn't hold, you're not making anything, no money whatsoever. And so you want to find something that hostess is going to get excited about. If she gets excited about a free charcoal mask with 5 people coming over, go for that. That's awesome. If she gets excited about $100 free to party with me, that's great too. The hostess plan that the company has for us, that's just like an idea that you can do, is really cool. I've done this recently as well, is if you have $200 in sales, okay, they get 10% in free products. If they book a party off of their party, if a party books, they get 15% of the sales in free products. And if they book 2 parties, they get 20% of the sales in free product. So that's a really simple one. You're just, basing it on the sales and the parties booked. So that's very simple, very basic. I'll also send you all of these on Voxer so you guys will see these. Another one is $100 free to party with me. This one's on Google. You can literally type in Mary Kay, $100 free to party with me. They get $20 for hosting their party on the original day that they planned, right, for not canceling on you. They get $20 for having $100 in outside orders, and this is not $20 cash, $20 in free product, okay? They get $20 for having 5 people over the age of 18. They get $20 for having 3 parties booked and $20 for having $300 in sales. That one's kind of hard for me. I get a little like ADHD and I'm like, oh no, what is happening? It's hard for me to like keep focus. So the one that I always go to, and I don't know about you, Michelle, but I always just say, okay, you get $10 in free product for everybody who comes. For each person who comes, I'll give you $10 in free product. Now remember, $10 in free product is only $5 out of my pocket because we get half off of everything. So it's really cool. So if she gets 10 people there, like Lori sells $1,000, I'm only giving her $50 in free product out of my pocket. Make sense? So it's really cool. It just evens out very easily for me. Michelle, did you have any other ones that you do?
No, those are the 3 that I've done before. And recently, I'm with you because I've been doing a lot of brides. It's $10 for, each one there. So it's super easy.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go over some time management, and this will be it for tonight. We'll go over the other details later on a Sunday night. Time management. Just like Michelle said, time management is one of the #1 reasons why people do not succeed in this business. It's hard to be your own boss. It really is. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes as a director, I'm like, you know what? I don't have to wake up at, 7 o'clock in the morning. It's hard to make yourself wake up. I don't have kids. If I don't have to work at school, it's hard for me to wake up sometimes at 7 in the morning. But you are your own boss. My favorite question to ask myself, it's literally written in my office, is would you rehire yourself based on your performance last week? You are literally your own boss. You're the CEO of your company. You get to choose whether or not you're rehired, okay, and what you're doing with your business. So you've got to choose a day to book. Booking is the lifeline of your business. If you're not booking appointments, you literally have nothing. You have no business whatsoever. So you have to book appointments, whether it's an hour a day, whether it's 30 minutes and not a day, a week, an hour a week. What if you went to your other job and they were like, hey, we just need you to work like 1 hour a week? What would you do? Holy cow. They want you to work like 40 and 50 of those. We just want 1 for booking, 2 for booking, 3, whatever you want to do with your business. So I try to set Monday mornings, Monday nights for booking. And so with that, I sit down, I go to a place that's not my home because I don't have kids, but my house gets dirty, okay? The dishes don't get done. I just did dishes while I was listening to this. Sorry, my phone's dying. So my dishes didn't get done. Like my dishes are dirty, my laundry. I mean, everything in this house needs to get done whenever I need to book. It's funny how that happens. So if you don't go somewhere else, you will get distracted by something. You have to focus. Just like you go somewhere to work and you are active and you're physically and mentally there, you need to do that when you're booking. Go somewhere else if you can't handle the distractions like I can't. So I go to Panera. A lot of times I'll see people at Panera and be like, hey, you need to have a party for me. And that helps a lot too. And so go somewhere else to book appointments. That's going to help you a lot. And just have a list at all times of people you want to book constantly. Anytime you think of someone, you're like, oh, I could book a party with her.
Uh-oh. Did we lose her? Uh-oh. I think her phone went out. Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm going to unmute somebody. Uh-oh.